Morning world, 10 o'clock in the morning, 3rd of December 2013. It's another good day. The moon is in Sagittarius, not the most subtle, delicate, sensitive of positions, but nevertheless one of the most honest. And all day it's brewing up to a big square to Mars in about 24 hours time. But you know, moon in Sagittarius square Mars in Virgo, that's not going to cause big problems. It's just going to make quite a few people a bit more clumsy or unsubtle or tactless or undiplomatic than normal. So, no big deal. And Mercury's going to be changing sign in 48 hours. And boy, will I be glad to see the back of Mercury in Scorpio. It's been 2 months of really deep emotional thought patterns that have been really bogging people down. And while Mercury in Sag isn't a brilliant place, I'm looking forward to simply because it'll be out of Scorpio. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit on Uranus today. Because over the coming few weeks, when I'm bored, I'm going to be doing a bit on Uranus through the different houses. Because I've not done this and a few people have asked me. And we've concentrated a lot on Pluto over this last year. And with the Uranus-Pluto square, perhaps it's a case for looking at Uranus as well. So here's a quick 3-minute guide to Uranus, the planet, and its astrological influence. Uranus, the planet, is a bright blue ball surrounded by bright electrical blue methane clouds. Uranus does have very thin rings around it and has a large number of moons, most of them named after Shakespearean characters. Uranus is different to every other planet. Every other planet spins on its equator east to west with its poles at the north and south. Uranus's poles are at the east and west and it spins from north to south. It's on its side. Uranus is a dynamo. It spins different in every way to every other planet. It's in fitting with its reputation of being different. Not better, not worse, but different. Now the negative side of Uranus is all about sudden, dramatic, unpredictable, chaotic change that brings revolution, radicality, rebelliousness, chaos, anarchy. It yanks the rug from underneath your feet, it throws everything upside down, and it brings sudden dramatic change in a way that makes you feel really uncomfortable, life-changing. Bearing in mind Uranus has an 84-year orbit, spending exactly, to within a month or two, 7 years in each sign. So it is a slow mover. Nevertheless, it can be extremely disruptive and chaotic. On the neutral level, Uranus brings change. It brings, but it certainly cannot deal with the word boredom. Where anything gets too structured, rigid, inflexible, and then Uranus comes calling, there will be change. It is just a question of whether you act and make it happen or whether you react. At the neutral level, Uranus brings a kind of restlessness, a kind of need for action and development, and it can create a kind of static electrical field. Often people with strong Uranus conjunctions or oppositions, particularly to personal planets, experience a lot of static electric shocks. But on the positive side, Uranus brings stimulus and innovation and originality and novelty. It is one's capacity to search for words like independence, freedom and liberty, for excitement and adventure and the futurism of novelty. Uranus is the change bringer. When Uranus comes into your life, it is never subtle. Normally, it is difficult in that there is a wave of change coming through, which if you run, it will sweep you on the rocks. And if you stand still, it will pull the sand from underneath your feet. But if you surf the wave of change, whilst it will be a rock and roll ride and on the very cutting edge, and you will feel scared, but also alive, then change will always be a powerful force for positive growth and self-development in your life. If you fight Uranus, you may be successful, but then you will become rigid and inflexible. In this last 2 to 3 years, Uranus has been affecting people born in the first 10 days of Cancer, Capricorn, Libra, Aries, and now it's getting ready to move into the middle of those signs. Uranus brings change. Change or die is often a rather flippant way of describing Uranus, but in many cases, at least at the metaphorical level, this is true. Over the coming days, stroke weeks, I'll look at Uranus through the houses, and I'll probably do it in parallel with equal and opposite houses. So 6 sessions on Uranus coming up over the coming couple of weeks. Catch you later, folks. Bye.